How does one actually find a good dividend stock? I see the question asked all the time on different subreddits. What are your good dividend stocks? Any good dividend stocks that people can recommend, etc. And all kinds of variations of this question. Well, let's take a look at one way that you can do the research and find these dividend stocks. Alright, what we have on screen right here is me booting up the good old stock screener. And in this case it is macro trends, and as you can see to the left here on my screen I can make some directions for the stock screener on what I'm looking for. So in this case I have chosen a market cap less than 5 billion, so smaller companies. Why smaller? It's a lot higher risk, but also potential for higher rewards. So if you're less risk inclined, then you can take larger companies here. And then also price to earnings. In this case, I just set the minimum so that they're actually profitable in terms of earnings. However, if you're more inclined to look for growth stocks and 10 baggers or 100 baggers, well, then you don't really want to look at profitable companies here. You want to look at companies that are just on the cusp of being profitable and will have a very attractive valuation. However, in this case, we're looking for dividend stocks. So I put a minimum here of 5% yield on a yearly basis and then just pressed search. So now we see a lot of companies here, 254 companies matching the criteria. And if we sift through here and scroll, we can see that there are three main industries right now in terms of dividend. It is the REITs, it is transportation here, shipping, bulk, different carriers basically, and also oil and gas companies that are ranking high in terms of dividend in the smaller caps. And why is this? Well, we've seen the price of bulk carriers go through the roof here before pandemic, but now they're basically back into pre-pandemic levels again, more normal. However, dividend is tracking a 12-month period. So if they had a lot of dividends here previously, it can inflate the yields in some cases. And then we have oil and gas, of course, a industry that's very depressed in terms of valuation, and that depressed valuation can give higher dividends. And the industry also tend to pay out a lot of dividend and don't really reinvest a lot in different prospecting projects, etc., since the message from political actors is that this is not an industry we should be aiming for. We want to aim for green energy. Well, that's cool. Nobody's in the right mind is gonna reinvest into projects. They're gonna pay out dividend instead. So we see this reflected here in the numbers. And then of course we also have the REITs. And the REITs is the most interesting sector right now, in my opinion, because we have these interest rates going up, depressing the valuation of a lot of different property companies, and the yield is still remaining. It's not being cut back, and in case of REITs they get tax advantages for paying out a lot of dividend. I think it's above 90% or something like that. And for this property sector right now, they have more of a bearish scenario priced in already. So there's potential to find a lot of interesting dividend stocks in this sector. We can see that BlackRock is investing in certain medical REITs that refit basically properties for dentists and other medical offices. So interesting opportunities. This is where you can go in to find some dividend stocks, and then you can just press on the stock here and start looking at the data, start looking at revenue growth, start looking at profit margins, earnings over time, and then also of course check news, check the balance sheet, just the whole due diligence process. But this could be your stage one in sifting through all the stocks, trying to find a dividend stock that you like. I hope you enjoyed this video showing a tool that you can use in your process, and as always, I hope you make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.